If you've been waiting for something to happen in your life and it just hasn't happened fast enough, there's a reason for that. I'm pretty sure we have a laundry list of things that we want to happen right now because we feel like it would benefit us. Overall, just enhance our quality of life, our mental health. But there's a reason why God is saying, hold on.
Simply Shell, Simply Michelle. You're watching her on YouTube, and you know she got a vibe for me. She got a vibe for you.
He wants you to give him one-on-one time with him. Trust in him. Be consistent at what it is that you're praying for, because whatever it is that you're praying for, he's preparing you for it. Even when it doesn't seem like it's happening right now, everything is a process when you're walking with God. He wants you to trust in him enough to know that when the opportunity arrives and your blessings start to pour, you're ready for it. I've been through a lot of different experiences, trials and tribulations in my life where things were coming at me in every single angle and I just didn't even know where to begin because it was coming at me back to back like a domino effect. I've hit places in my life where I was just backed into a corner where I had no choice but to just go to God because I was so weary, so doubtful, so hurt, felt like there was nobody that I could talk to but him. The more that I'm learning to give it to him, the more I'm starting to trust him. And how do you build trust if your life is in shambles, right? Even when it's the darkest hour for you, God is preparing you for it. Everything in life is a process, just like when you're going for a job. You're not going to just get that job 1, 2, 3. You got to go get the outfit for the job. You've got to prepare a speech for the interview before you get the opportunity, right? And that's the same way that God is preparing us. You're not going to get everything that you want just because you want it. He wants to know that you're ready and what you're going to do with it once you get those opportunities. By that, I mean you have to pray. One-on-one time is vital so that you can build a relationship with him privately. That's the time where you and him can just have your intimate moment where nobody else is there, where nobody's going to judge you, where you can be vulnerable. And of course, it's easy for us to go to him when things are the worst. It's almost like you hit a point of desperation and it's just like, what do I do now? But when things are working out in your favor, we don't even think to give him praise. I say all that to say, start praying for what God is preparing you for. Whenever you're feeling doubtful, Matthew 11, verse 27 says, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. God makes promises to us. He will never leave us nor forsake us. So he's literally making a promise to us that all we need to do is come to him and give it to him and we shall rest. When you build that connection and that relationship with him, you're no longer going to feel a sense of anxiety. You're no longer going to feel worried. You know that he has it handled. The first step is literally making your way to him, being dedicated to him, and loving him as he loved us wholeheartedly. No matter what it is that we do wrong, he's never going to judge us. He's a good God and he's a forgiving God. If he can turn one situation around for you, he can turn this one around for you. Even though it seems like things are not getting better for you, even though you feel like you're hitting rock bottom and there's no way out, praying is the first step to the opportunity because he hears you. You don't have to continuously say it over and over again. You cast it upon him one time and you trust in him, knowing that he's going to turn it around, but you have got to trust in him all the time, not just for a temporary reason or season. Some of our battles that we're experiencing seem like they're impossible, but nothing is impossible for God. And that's one thing that I am a firm believer. I have many testimonies of certain situations that I personally could not get myself out of. I literally was forced to pray because there was nobody else around me to help me, to guide me, to even vent to. God turned it around. He literally turned it around for me when I just left it there and I trusted in him. Give him a few minutes of your time. It doesn't even need to be a whole day of dedication, right? Because life is life and we have many things that we need to do. But if you can give other things attention, can take time out for other things, then you can take a few minutes out of your day. It doesn't even have to be when you first wake up. It can be throughout your day. Anytime, in the car, in the shower, at your workplace, but just pray and thank him first. Thank him first before you ask him for anything. That's what I'm learning. Thank him for his good graces and his mercy. Thank him for another day of waking up. After you thank him, that's when you spend your time with him and let him know what your troubles are. No matter what it is that you have been doing in your life, whether good or bad, that's not what he's looking at. He's looking to see that you're going to come to him despite what it is that you're dealing with, despite your lifestyle that you're living. He still wants you to know that you love him enough and you trust him enough to come to him no matter what it is, no matter how many doors are closing in your face, no matter how many people reject you, no matter how short your finances are. He wants you to come to him because he's going to turn it around. He's preparing you for your blessings. He wants to see that you're going to be ready for it when it comes, because the blessings are going to come so much. They're going to be so abundant that you're not even going to believe it. Want you to hold on. Just find a safe space for you. It can be anywhere. You don't have to have anything spectacular. All you need is that one-on-one time and your voice. There's no special way to pray. There's no format to praying. It should just come from here, and it should be just you and him. Even when you're unsure of how to pray, ask God to give you clarity, to strengthen your mind and your heart, to become more open and willing to his love and his mercy. Ask for the things that you're unsure of. If you continuously form a habit with giving it to him, you'll be surprised at how your life starts changing. When you learn to be obedient, when you learn to go to him before you make any decision. You may even see God removing things and people from your life. You're going to want to unlearn certain things. You're going to want to start relearning new things because you're allowing God to lead. When you find yourself at a fork in the road, that just means you're waiting for your breakthrough, right? You're waiting for your breakthrough. You're trying to figure out your life. That's your sign right there that God is telling you, come to him. He wants you to know that you're safe. And sometimes you have to fast, right? For me, fasting doesn't always necessarily mean fasting from food. You can just fast from those bad habits, fast from the crowd that you're hanging with, fast from social media. Anything that you feel is a distraction in your life, or it's not really helping you to where it is you're trying to go, sometimes you just need to take a break from it, right? So you can allow your breakthrough to come into your life. Sometimes we block our blessings because certain things around us are distractions. And in order for us to see that blessing, we have to remove those distractions and just focus on our relationship with God. He will show us certain things, and sometimes we're just not paying attention. But it's up to us to see that, be mindful of it, and do something with it. It doesn't cost you to pray. There's no energy taken from you behind that, right? If anything, it's going to be a release for you because you're able to just repent. You're able to vent without anybody, without any disturbances. Like I said, everything is a process. It wasn't a 1, 2, 3 thing for me. I'm still learning and understanding my relationship with God, the knowledge and the love, the miracles that he has done in my life so far. It only just makes me want to know him more. It's allowing me to trust him. Even when I don't trust myself, my decision making, it always feels good when you have somebody that you can lean on. Somebody that you know is going to always have your best interest at heart. Somebody that's never going to stab you in the back, who's always going to love you no matter what you do. I noticed that he started answering my prayers more when I stopped insisting and demanding when and how my blessings came. God already knows, and he already has our life planned out for us. He sees what we don't see. He understands things that we don't understand. So who are we to tell him and demand and request things happen on our time? The moment that you sit back and have a little bit of patience, the moment when everything is going to turn around for you. It's not going to be when we want it to. It's just not. That's just not the way that it works. And God's love and God's timing is always for the better. It's never to hurt us. It's always for the better. And I feel like for that breakthrough, it's a transformation. Again, you need to be equipped for what's coming. You need to be shielded. You need to be armored. You need to be prepared for everything that's about to come your way. If you are not prepared, then how will you know how to handle it when you get it? Not listening to outside people, not listening to or making those choices that you know are not right for you, not making your own choices for yourself. Because sometimes our choices will get us in trouble. Sometimes our choices are not the best choices because we're not listening to God's word. We're listening to our word. We're being hard-headed. We're not really trusting in him, and we're saying, you know what, we're going to do it this way. And usually our way is not the best way. Hence why we end up in the situations that we end up in. We are taking it upon ourselves and not trusting in him to guide us and to lead us. Some things are not meant for us to handle. He's literally our guide. And why we go the other way is beyond me. But he's always going to bring you back to him. Even if you drift off or even if you go left, God has a powerful way of bringing us back to him. Even when we feel like, you know what, forget this, nothing's happening right for me, things are just going bad for me, the devil's taking over, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, storms are storming. He has a way of always bringing us back to him. You can't sit here and tell me there hasn't been one time in your life that you didn't go to God. that you didn't seek his assistance and his guidance because there was no other option. There was nowhere else to go. And do that one time, we have to learn to give it to him all the time. But every day, even on our good days, even on our days where life is just everything, we're smiling, the sun has come out, feeling your best, we can't forget about that, because when we get too excited and we forget to pray, that's when the enemy starts to try to creep in. When you pray, you're grounded. God's words keep us grounded. God's love and mercy keeps us safe and armored for every day. All of our obstacles, all of our trials, all of our tribulations, you want to keep that foundation. You want to stay guarded. You want to stay shielded through everything. And when you build that and when you have that, you're able to cope. You're able to weather the storm even when the storm doesn't seem like it's going to go. There's no worry, there's no fear, because you know that the God that you serve, he's going to handle it.
Simply Michelle.